Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stand Up Speakeasy. I'm your host, Sareth, and every single week I bring on a guest from the Central Time Zone and interview them because I was hoping to go on tour, but COVID hit and that didn't happen. And I was hoping to interview comics along the way, but this is the next best thing, and I'm interviewing Delisia. Welcome to the show, Delisia. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. Thanks so much for being on the show this evening or this afternoon. Like I usually host these at nighttime, but I'm like, I got a stand up comedy open mic to do in the evening, so I got to go get together with my pals because I miss them because of this whole COVID mess.
Yeah, it does suck. It's really nice to see familiar faces when you haven't been on stage for a while.
Most definitely, indeed. So you're based out of Pensacola, and you've been doing stand up for a year. Well, you said 6 months because of COVID.
Yeah.
What's it like out in Pensacola at the moment?
Um, I like it. We just got a new venue. Our old one used to be in like the basement of a hotel lobby. That's where I started. And this new one's like at a brewery. It's outside. It's really cute. So I like it. It's definitely a different vibe, different people than what I'm used to before. So the vibe and the energy is a little different, but I'm getting used to it.
Awesome. Those shows are a lot of fun. There's one in Gainesville called the Midnight, and it's one of the coolest places. I think they still have comedy. If not, then I wish them the best. But you've been on stages in Pensacola, Fort Walton, Tallahassee, Mobile, and Gulfport. What are some of your favorite memories from those cities?
Um, I honestly don't. Oh, Tallahassee. So I got on the show. You have to like ask him 2 weeks in advance or something so he can put it all together. And I forgot about the time change. So I left with enough time. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get there 30 minutes. I can get a drink, sit back and chill. No, I was a whole hour late and I was freaking out. I did a good set, but like my heart was pounding and I only had 5 minutes to like chill. He was like, "Oh, you're here." So I don't know. That was an awful experience, but it was really cool out there. Like it's a college town. So there's so many people, so much more than I was used to performing in front of. So that was really cool.
Awesome. And how about your favorite memory from a Pensacola show? It could be from the downstairs lobby of a hotel, if you like.
Um, let's see. We had this like drunk comedy show. Like you weren't allowed to get on stage unless you blew a .08. That was really interesting. I didn't perform, but watching it was insane. I thought it was a cool concept. I liked it.
Indeed, I've seen those shows. Like there's that the drunk, high, and sober shows, and I'm
Hmm.
like, well, I'll be the sober part because I'm straight edge. So I'm just like, I'll just do that one.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Everybody has their own thing.
Most definitely. And your favorite memory from Fort Walton?
Mm, I like that they let me pick my intro music because in my head I always have something playing like when I'm practicing in the shower and stuff. So finally getting to hear it and have me walk out on stage to it, it felt really good.
Those are the best shows for sure.
Yeah, I love it.
What's your favorite walkout music, or that you chose?
I chose, oh man, I don't even remember what I chose. So I chose something.
Indeed. Like my go-to, like, because my opening joke that I have is a Salt and Pepper reference about let's talk about sex, and so I asked them to play that at the Orlando Improv, and then I just jumped right into my Salt and Pepper joke, and like you opened with a Salt and Pepper joke. Yep, I'm an old school hip hop fan, so what
Okay.
else? It's either them or Wu Tang, so it's like just those two are my opening songs.
Yeah. The song was Still Fly. I remembered it. But I like
Ah,
that song because I'm broke and it kind of just, it's just about my life.
that's a great song too, for sure.
Yeah.
And your favorite mobile appearance?
Mobile. I have never done good in Mobile ever. Not ever. So I don't know. Like I'll do the same set over there that I do all these other places. And then I go to Mobile and they just look at me. I don't know. I guess they don't like me in Alabama, but I'm gonna keep trying. So I don't really have a favorite memory. I'm always real sad over there.
there's a place called in Flagler Beach that's like close to me, and I bomb every single time I perform there. I'm like, maybe because they're like not in my demographic, and I'm too dirty for them. So I'm just like, I'm gonna accept and just go to Daytona Beach and just perform there the whole time. So how about Gulfport?
Gulfport, actually, my first time over there was last night. I went with Olivia Searcy and Andrew Ferrara to watch them in the comedy roast, and it was amazing. And then they let me do a set in between the battles, and it was a good time. I liked it. They're really nice people.
Awesome. Olivia's a great lady, and Andrew and I got selected to perform at the Aloha Comedy Festival in February.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to meet him in the future and in 2 months. And so he seems like a really cool cat, and that puts on some cool shows together out there. Indeed. And so you're a correctional officer by day and a moonlight as a comedian. And what's it like between those two roles? I mean, they're both pretty intense.
I don't know. Comedy's like my getaway. Um, my job is well, I need money, so
Indeed. My best friend used to be a correctional officer, and he was like, he would tell me all these stories, and I'm like, oh man, that's pretty intense. I mean, the stage is pretty intense too because it's scary, and it's like you never know what to expect.
yeah.
So, indeed. And so, for the next portion of the show is where I was supposed to go on tour and I was supposed to interview everyone. And these are the usual questions that I have for Delisia. And so, this is for you. What inspired you to perform stand-up comedy?
I was watching comedians in cars getting coffee, and I didn't know who Jerry Seinfeld was until I watched that show. I didn't know who most of those comedians were. Or if I knew them, I didn't know that they did stand up. I was really sheltered. So, like Eddie Murphy had no clue that he did stand up. I only saw him in like the children's movies and stuff like that. So it just like opened up a lot for me, and the way they talked about it was like an art form, and it was really beautiful just the way they always describe stand up. So that's what got me wanting to actually try it.
Indeed, that's one heck of a show. I love that show. It's fantastic. And what was it feeling like when you first performed stand-up?
I was so scared. That day I talked myself out of doing it. I was like, I don't need to do it. Like nobody knows that I plan on doing it, so I don't have to do it. And then I watched Dolomite with Eddie Murphy in it, and I was like, oh my god, I can do this. So I went on stage and I was terrified. I don't even know what I said, but I just remember feeling sick to my stomach. But I was glad that I finally did it.
Indeed, that's a great movie. I believe it or not, I used to live in the LA, and his manager used to be my one of my clients at my day job,
That's what's
and
up.
yeah, it was pretty neat. And he would give me all these Dolomite records, and I'm like, man, this is like my stand up is like is inspired by Dolomite because you know how he gets really dirty on his records. I'm like, that's totally me. That's I love it. So it's good stuff. And what are your favorite? Speaking of comedy records, what are your favorite comedy specials and comedy record albums?
I honestly don't know much, but I do like Trevor Noah, son of Patricia. He's very well put together. I like the way he puts together his sets. And I don't remember which Dave Chappelle one it was, but I really like him.
Indeed, they're all fantastic folks, and they've been on TV and film. And I want to know what your favorite sitcom, sketch shows, and comedy films are.
I don't know. I don't really watch real people stuff. I watch a lot of cartoons and anime. Um, I can't think of any comedy shows, to be honest.
Indeed, I totally understand. I love cartoons myself, so like I love the old school stuff like Tom and Jerry and like
Yeah.
Looney Tunes. That's like my thing. Absolutely. And let's see here. If you can go on tour with any comedian, locally and internationally known, which comedians would you like to go on tour with?
Locally, I'd love to go with Olivia and Zach Van Gestel and Andrew Ferrara. Those three are my favorite. And internationally, Mike Epps. Yeah.
Indeed, he's fantastic. Like when I saw him on in Next Friday, that's just we know with Baby D and her snack cakes and all that stuff. Such a classic movie. And and let's see here if you can get roast by five comedians because I know that you saw a roast with Olivia and such and company. If you can get roasted by five comedians, past and present, which comedians would you like to get roasted by?
Mm. Eddie Murphy. Bill Cosby. I feel like that would be hilarious.
Indeed.
uh, Joe Coy. How many is that? Three?
Yep.
Dave Chappelle. Do they have to be famous?
Nope. It could be locals too.
Um, Kirby. I think his last name's Hewlett.
Indeed, most definitely. And where do you see your comedy career in the next 5 years?
Growing. I would like it to grow. I really like doing it. I like the travel. I like the meeting new people, like seeing how different people do things, just learning. It's really exciting. It's been a long time since I've learned something new, so like it's really cool to me.
Most definitely, indeed. And which other forms of comedy would you like to venture off into, like improv, sketch, comedy writing, acting, directing, etc.?
Um, I would love to write. I like writing, like, and my mind is insane, so that would be really cool.
Most definitely, indeed. And what is your favorite joke a comic has ever written?
So one of the local comics, his name is Zach. He said something like, "No, I'm gonna mess it up. Never mind."
Okay, sounds good. I'll catch it in person. You got to point it out to me, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, fantastic. And what experience would you like your audience to take with them after a set is over?
I just want them to be happy. Like I want them to be so full of joy when they leave that they forgot about whatever was bothering them before they got there.
Absolutely, indeed. And at this one on this part of the show is which comics would you like to nominate to be my featured guests on the show?
Zach Van Gessel and Kirby Hewlett. I feel like I'm not saying his last name right, but it's something like that.
Indeed, most definitely. I'll make sure to reach out to those folks, and I'll probably need your help in writing their names down because sometimes I'm really bad at spelling people's names, and I reach out to the wrong people, so it's like, oh well, sorry. But with that being said, please donate to Delicia's Cash App and follow her on Instagram and Snapchat. It's scrolling on the bottom there. It's also on the bottom of this video, and so I'm trying to get you more followers and more donations since stand up is in and out with this COVID thing, so trying to keep you all afloat. So with all that good stuff. So with that being said, Delicio, are there any final words you'd like to give to the audience out there?
Come out, support your local comedy wherever you're at. Like, just get into the scene. It's really cool.
Absolutely, indeed. And thank you so much for being my guest today on the Stand Up Speakeasy. It means a lot to me. And I'm looking for once I go on tour and this all goes away, I'm looking forward to seeing your favorite joke in person and meeting you and all the cool cats in Panama and wherever you're at, Pensacola, the Panhandle. There's so many cool cities along that area. The Gulf Coast, we'll just call it the
There
Gulf
you
Coast.
go.
That was great. Awesome. Thank you so much for being my guest today, and we'll see you next time. And I'll piece this all together and make it look fancy, and I'll send it up back to you.
Alrighty, thank you.
You're welcome, indeed. We'll see you next time.
All right, bye.
Awesome. Take care.